page 19.10, chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 1E, Amendments made in the Constitution. Continue. 63. The Constitution within bracket 63rd Amendment Act bracket closed Act 1989 repealed the changes introduced by the 59th Amendment Act of 1988 in relation to Punjab. In other words, Punjab was brought at par with the other states in respect of emergency provisions. 64. The Constitution 64th Amendment Act 1990 facilitated the extension of the President's rule in Punjab up to a total period of 3 years and 6 months. 65. The Constitution within bracket 65th Amendment Act 1990 provided for the establishment of a multi-member National Commission for SCs and STs. 66. The Constitution within bracket 66th Amendment Act 1990 included 55 more land reforms acts of various states in the 9th schedule. 67. The Constitution within bracket 67th Amendment Act 1990 facilitated the extension of the President's rule in Punjab up to a total period of 4 years. 68. The Constitution within bracket 68th Amendment bracket closed Act 1991 facilitated the extension of the President's rule in Punjab up to a total period of 5 years. 69. The Constitution within bracket 69th Amendment Act 1991 accorded a special status to the Union Territory of Delhi by redesigning it as the National Capital Territory of Delhi. The amendment also provided for the creation of a 70-member Legislative Assembly and a 7-member Council of Ministers for Delhi. 70. The Constitution within bracket 78th Amendment Act 1992 provided for the inclusion of the members of the Legislative Assemblies of National Capital Territory of Delhi and the Union Territory of Pondicherry in the Electoral College for the election of the President. 71. The Constitution within bracket 71st Amendment Act 1992. There have been demands for inclusion of certain languages in the 8th schedule to the Constitution. This Act amends the 8th schedule to the Constitution to include Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali languages. 72. The Constitution within bracket 72nd Amendment Act 1992 for restoring peace and harmony in the area of the state of Tripura where disturbed conditions prevailed. A memorandum of settlement was signed by the Government of India with Tripura National Volunteers on August 12, 1988. In order to implement the said memorandum, Article 332 of the Constitution has been amended by the Constitution within bracket 72nd Amendment bracket closed Act 1992 for making a temporary provision for the determination of the number of seats reserved for the scheduled tribes in the State Assembly of Tripura until the readjustment of seats is made on the basis of the first census after the year 2000 under Article 170 of the Constitution. 73. The Constitution within bracket 73rd Amendment bracket closed Act 1993, a new Part 9 relating to the Roman 9, relating to the panchayats have been inserted in the Constitution to provide for, among other things, Gram Sabha in a village or group of villages, constitution of panchayats at village and other levels, direct elections to all seats in panchayats at the village and intermediate level, if any, and to the offices of chairpersons of panchayats at such levels, reservation of seats for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in proportion to their population for membership of panchayats and office of chairpersons in panchayats at each level, reservation of not less than one-third of the seats for women, fixing features for 5 years for panchayats and holding elections within a period of 6 months in the event of suppression of any panchayat. I repeat, reservation of not less than one-third of the seats for women, fixing tenure for 5 years for panchayats and holding elections within a period of 6 months in the event of supersession of any panchayat. 74. The Constitution (74th Amendment Act 1993), having regard to these inadequacies, a new part 9 Roman 9 capital A relating to the municipalities has been incorporated in the Constitution to provide for, among other things, constitution of 3 types of municipalities, that is, Nagar panchayats for areas in transition from a rural area to urban area, municipal councils for smaller urban area, and municipal corporations for larger urban areas. Exercise 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 1E, Amendments made in the Constitution continued, page 19.11. 75. The Constitution (75th Amendment Act 1994) provided for the establishment of rent tribunals for the adjudication of disputes with respect to rents, its regulation and control, and tenancy issues, including the rights, title and interest of landlords and tenants. 76. The Constitution (76th Amendment Act 1994) included the Tamil Nadu Reservation Act of 1994 (which provides for 69% reservation of seats in educational institutions and posts in state services) in the 9th schedule to protect it from judicial review. In 1992, the Supreme Court ruled that the total reservation should not exceed 50%. 77. The Constitution (77th Amendment Act 1995) provided for reservation in promotions in government jobs for SCs and STs. This amendment nullified the Supreme Court ruling with regard to reservation in promotions. 78. The Constitution (78th Amendment Act 1995) included 27 more land reforms acts of various states in the 9th schedule. With this, the total number of acts in the schedule increased to 284. 79. The Constitution (79th Amendment Act 1999) extended the reservation of seats for the SCs and STs and special representation for the Anglo-Indians in the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies for a further period of 10 years, that is up to 2010. 80. The Constitution (88th Amendment Act 2000) provided for an alternative scheme of devolution of revenue between the centre and states. This was enacted on the basis of the recommendations of the 10th Finance Commission, which has recommended that out of the total income obtained from the central taxes, central taxed and duties, 29% should be distributed among the state. 81. The Constitution (81st Amendment Act 2000). By this amendment, the unfilled vacancies of a year, which was reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, for being filled up in that year, in accordance with any provisions or reservations made under Article 16 of the Constitution shall be considered as a separate class of vacancies to be filled up in any succeeding year or years, and such class of vacancies shall not be considered together with the vacancies of the year in which they were filled up for determining the ceiling of 50% reservation against total number of vacancies of that year. 82. The Constitution within bracket 82nd Amendment Act 2000. The amendment provides that nothing in Article 335 shall prevent the state from making any provision in favor of the members of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes for relaxation in qualifying marks in any examination or lowering the standards of evaluation for reservation in matter of promotion to any class or classes of service or posts in connection with affairs of the Union or of a state. 83. The Constitution within bracket 83rd Amendment Act 2000. The Act amended Article 243M of the Constitution to provide that no reservation in panchayats need be made in favor of the scheduled caste and in Arunachal Pradesh wholly uninhabited by tribal population. 84. The Constitution 84th Amendment Act 2001. The Act amended provisions to Article 82 and 180 Clause 3 of the Constitution to readjust and rationalize the territorial constituencies in the state without altering the number of seats allotted to each state in House of People and Legislature Assemblies of the states, including the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes constituencies on the basis of population ascertained at the census for the year 1991, so as to remove the imbalance caused due to uneven growth of population within populations by electorate in different constituencies. It is also to refix the number of seats reserved for the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes in the House of the People and the Legislative Assemblies of the states on the basis of the population ascertained at the census for the year 1991, so as to remove the imbalance caused due to uneven growth of population electorate in different constituencies. It is also to refix the number of seats reserved for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in the House of People and the Legislative Assemblies of the states on the basis of the population ascertained at the census for the year 1991. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 1E. Amendments made in the Constitution. 85. The Constitution within bracket 85th Amendment Act 2001. This Act amended Article 164 Clause A of the Constitution to provide for consequential seniority in the case of promotion by virtue of rule of reservation for the government servants belonging to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. It also provides retrospective effect from 17th day of June 1995. 86. The Constitution within bracket 86th Amendment Act 2002. The Act deals with insertion of a new Article 22 capital A after Article 21. The new Article 21A deals with right to education. Within inverted comma, the state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children of the ages of 6 to 14 years in such numbers as the state may by law determine, inverted comma close. Substitution of new article for Article 45. For Article 45 of the Constitution, the following article shall be substituted, namely provision for early childhood care and education to children below the age of 6 years. Article 45 states, within inverted comma, the state shall endeavour to provide early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years, inverted comma close. Article 51A of the Constitution was amended and a new clause K was added after clause J, which states that anyone within inverted comma K within bracket who is a parent or guardian to provide opportunities for education to his children, or as the case may be, ward between the age of 6 and 14 years, inverted comma close. 87. The Constitution within bracket 87th Amendment bracket closed Act 2003. In Article 81 of the Constitution, in Clause 3, in the proviso, in Clause Roman 2 for the figures within inverted comma 1991 inverted comma close, the figures within inverted comma 2001 inverted comma close shall be substituted. 88. The Constitution within bracket 88th Amendment Act 2003 made a provision for service tax within bracket Article 268-A capital A bracket closed. Taxes on services are levied by the centre, but their proceeds are collected as well as appropriated by both the centre and the state in accordance with the principles formulated by Parliament. 89. The Constitution within bracket 89th Amendment Act 2003 bifurcated the erstwhile combined National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes into two separate bodies, namely National Commission for Scheduled Castes within bracket Article 338 and National Commission for Scheduled Tribes within bracket Article 338A bracket closed. Both the commissions consist of a chairperson, a vice chairperson, and 3 other members. They are appointed by the President. 90. The Constitution within bracket 90th Amendment Act 2003 in Article 332 of the Constitution in Clause 6 the following proviso shall be inserted, namely within inverted comma provided that for elections to the Legislative Assembly of the State of Assam, the representation of the scheduled tribes and non-scheduled tribes in the constituencies included in the Bodoland Territorial Area District so notified and existing prior to the constitution of the Bodoland Territorial Area District shall be mentioned. 91. The Constitution within bracket 94 I repeat 91. The Constitution within bracket 91st Amendment Act 2003 made the following provision to limit the size of Council of Ministers to debar defectors from holding public offices and to strengthen the anti-defection law. 1. The total number of ministers, including the Prime Minister in the Central Council of Ministers, shall not exceed 15% of the total strength of the Lok Sabha within bracket Article 75 within bracket 1 capital A bracket closed. 2. A member of either House of Parliament belonging to any political party who is disqualified on grounds of defection shall also be disqualified to be appointed as a minister within bracket Article 75 within bracket 1 capital B bracket closed. 3. The total number of ministers, including the Chief Minister in this Council of Ministers in a state, shall not exceed 15% of the total strength of the Legislative Assembly of that state, but the number of ministers, including the Chief Minister in a state, shall not be less than 12 within bracket Article 164 within bracket 1A bracket closed. 4. A member of either house of a state legislature belonging to any political party who is disqualified on grounds of defection shall also be disqualified to be appointed as a minister within bracket Article 164 within bracket 1 capital B bracket closed. 5. A member of either House of Parliament or either House of State Legislature belonging to any political party who is disqualified on grounds of defection shall also be disqualified to hold any remunerative political post. The expression within inverted comma remunerative political post inverted comma close means 1. Any office under the central government or state government where the salary or remuneration for such office is paid out of the public revenue of the concerned government, or 2. Any office under a body whether incorporated or not, which is wholly or partially owned by the central government or state government, and the salary or remuneration for such office is paid by such body, except where such salary for or remuneration paid in compensatory nature within bracket Article 361 capital B bracket closed. 6. The provision of the 10th schedule within bracket anti-defection law bracket closed pertaining to exemption from disqualification in case of split by one-third members of legislature party has been deleted. It means that the defectors have no more protection on grounds of splits. 19. Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 19.13. 1E. Amendments made in the Constitution continued. 92. The Constitution within bracket 92nd Amendment Act 2003 included 4 more languages in the 8th schedule within bracket 8th schedule. They are Bodo, Dogri within bracket Dongri bracket closed, Mathili within bracket Moithili bracket closed, and Santali. With this, the total number of constitutionally recognized languages increases to 22. 93. The Constitution within bracket 93rd Amendment bracket closed Act 2006. Greater access to higher education, including professional education, is of great importance to a large number of students belonging to the scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes, and other socially and educationally backward classes of citizens. To promote the educational advancement of the socially and educationally backward classes of citizens, that is the other backward classes or of the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes in matter of administration of students belonging to those categories in unaided educational institutions other than the minority educational institutions referred to in Clause 1 of Article 30, the provisions of Article 15 were amplified. The new Clause 5 of said Article 15 shall enable the Parliament as well as the state legislatures to make appropriate laws for the above mentioned purpose. 94. The Constitution within bracket 94th Amendment bracket closed Act 2006, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh are to have a tribal welfare minister each. Orissa and Madhya Pradesh still have this provision within bracket Article 164 Clause 1, Article 164 Clause 1. Page 19.14. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 2. Federalism in India. 2A. Nature of the federal system. India's federalism is a union of states within bracket 28 states and 7 union territories. The Constitution does not specify the word within inverted commas federation anywhere. The word within bracket union, as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has said, indicates two things. One, that India is not a federation in this sense, that it is not the result of some erstwhile sovereign states agreeing to leave their sovereignties and coming together to form a new sovereign state. 2. That in India, the states do not have the right to secede from the federation. The word union suggests a relatively more powerful center. Our system differs from the American or Swiss federation insofar as it does not give the federating units equal representation in the second chamber of the national legislature, nor does it put them at par in the amendment process. In fact, our system is more akin to the Canadian model, where also the word union within inverted comma has been used for federation. That India is not a federation but a union of states means that our system is more centralized. The national government is more powerful than the government of the states in numerous respects, and that the framers of the Constitution themselves favored a system which would be integrative, where within bracket modern constitution bracket close describes the Indian system within inverted comma quasi-federal, a unitary state with subsidiary federal features rather than a federal state with subsidiary unitary features. K. Shantanam within bracket Union States relations in India bracket close refers to two major factors which are the Union has dominance over the states. One, that the Union has more financial powers. Second, the Union controls the states' development projects through the Planning Commission. However, there are scholars who highlight the federal aspects of the Indian Constitution. Constitution. Paul Appleby within bracket public administration. Paul Appleby within bracket public administration characterizes Indian system as within inverted comma extremely federal, and Jennings within bracket some characteristics of the Indian Constitution bracket close observes within inverted comma Indian Alexandrich within bracket constitutional developments in India within bracket close says, I repeat, and Jennings within bracket some characteristics of the Indian Constitution bracket close observes Indian Constitution is mainly federal with unique safeguards for enforcing national unity and growth. Alexandrovich within bracket constitutional developments in India bracket close says that India's federal case is unique in character, while Granville Austin within bracket Indian Constitution cornerstone of a nation bracket close describes India as a within inverted comma cooperative federation. India's polity provides a structure which is federal like. 1. A written constitution within bracket with 395 articles originally bracket closed. 2. A rigid constitution within bracket articles 368. 3. Division of power within bracket 7 schedule. 4. A second chamber of the national legislature representing the states on the basis of population within bracket 4th schedule. 5. A relatively powerful judiciary to act as the custodian of the so-called federal system within bracket article 131. 6. Above all, the supremacy of the constitution as safeguarded by judiciary. 7. Dual governmental structure, each acting within its own domain. All these are features of federal scheme as envisaged in India. And yet, there are features which are more centralizing than federalizing. The Constitution makes such features obvious at many places, while practice over many years has placed an emphasis on them. 1. The federating units in India do not have the constitutions of their own. The Constitution of India contains the provisions relating to the administration of the states. 2. Article 3 of the Constitution empowers the Parliament to create new states, alter their boundaries, even their names. 3. The states in India do not initiate the amendment proposals. It is the power of the Parliament, the national legislature. 4. The states have the power to ratify the amendment proposals. The required ratification is not less than half of the states. If the union government can manage to take along with it some minor half of the states, it can get away with any amendment. 5. The states participate only in the amendments of few provisions of the Constitution, within bracket only those continued in Article 368 bracket closed, and not in all the provisions of the Constitution. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India, page 19.15. 2. Federalism in India continued. 6. The single judicial structure provides the union government more importance. The Supreme Court not only is the highest court, but is also the court which controls all the subordinate courts, including the high courts. 7. There is no uniformity of representation of the states in the Council of States. The states are represented in the Council of States on the basis of their population, within bracket see Schedule 4 bracket closed. 8. The union government has more subjects to make laws on. It can legislate on the Union list within bracket 97 subjects in the original constitution bracket closed, while the states legislate on the subjects in the state list within bracket 66 subjects in the original constitution. On the concurrent list, which had 47 subjects in the original constitutions, both the union and the states can legislate. In case both the governments make a law on any concurrent subject, the union law prevails over the state law to the extent it goes contrary to the union law. 9. The Parliament is empowered to make laws on the state subject in certain circumstances during emergencies when states themselves request the Parliament to make such laws, when any international treaty is to be implemented, and when the Council of States declares any state subject as one of national importance. 10. The governors in the states are appointed by the President and can be recalled or removed by the President and remain in office during the pleasure of the President. 11. The governor is empowered to reserve any bill on the state subject to the consideration of the President, who can withhold his or her assent to such bills within bracket Article 201 bracket closed. 12. The directives from the Union government flow to the states within bracket Article 256 bracket closed and not vice versa. The states have to ensure the compliance of such directives if they have to avoid action under Article 365. 13. The Union government has more financial powers than those with states. The states have to depend on the Union government for financial assistance. 14. Planning Commission, which is the highest body in planning matters, is under the control of the Union government. The states have to look to the Union government for favor of developmental projects. 15. Single citizenship, that is the Indian citizenship, and numerous other measures such as uniformity in administration, all India services, all these go to favor the Union government. And yet, it cannot be said that we do not have a federal system. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had made certain observations in this respect. He was of the opinion that India is a federal state insofar as 1. The constitution provides a dual polity, 2. The states have not been created by the national government, 3. The states derive their authority and power from the constitution, 4. The constitution has given the states a list of subjects over which it is empowered to make law, 5. The constitution demands that there has to be a governor in the states within bracket Article 153 bracket closed, and also a council of ministers headed by the chief minister within bracket Article 163. The office of the governor and the constitution of the council of ministers headed by the chief minister are constitutional requirements, and the union government cannot, if it may want or wish, abolish them. Accordingly, the state governments constitute a basic structure of the Indian political system. In S.R. Bomani versus Union of India within bracket 1994, the Supreme Court has observed within inverted comma the fact that under the scheme of our constitution, greater power is conferred upon the centre vis-a-vis the states does not mean that the states are mere appendages of the centre. The states have an independent constitutional existence. They are not satellites or agents of the centre. Within the sphere allotted to them, the states are supreme. The fact that during emergency and in certain other eventualities, their powers are overridden or invaded by the centre is not destructive of the essential federal feature of the constitution. They are exceptions, and the exceptions are not a rule. Let it be said that the federalism in the Indian constitution is not a matter of administrative convenience, but one of principle, the outcome of our own process and a recognition of the ground's realities. Invert comma close. The emergence of the regional political parties on the one hand and their rise to power in some states on the other made them an important factor in the political system of the country, within bracket they have become coalition features, bracket closed, and made the union government see reason in the states' demand for greater autonomy. Page 19.16, Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 2b, Center-State Relations. Chapter 1 of Part 11, Roman 11, within bracket from Articles 245 to 255, bracket closed of the Constitution, describes the legislative relations between the Union and the states, while Chapter 2 of the same part, within bracket from Articles 256 to 263 of the Constitution, describes the administrative relations between the Union and the states, and also relate to the disputes regarding during waters, whereas Chapter 1 of Part 12, within bracket from Article 268 to 276, bracket closed, of the Constitution explains the distribution of revenues between the Union and the states. 1. Legislative relations between the centre and the states. The 7th schedule of the Constitution provides for 3 lists. Union list, within bracket 97 items in the original Constitution, bracket closed. State list, within bracket 66 items in the Constitution, bracket closed, and concurrent list. There have been some changes in the items of those lists owing to amendments till 2007, Union list 99, State list 61, and concurrent list 52, bracket closed. The Union list has subjects such as defence, development of armed forces, foreign affairs, citizenship, railways, highways, airways, navy, currency, interstate trade, and commerce, banking, central universities, UPSC, election of the parliament and the legislatures of the state, taxes on income, etc. Item 33 has been deleted and items 2 capital A, 92 capital A and 92 capital B have been added. This makes total items from the original 97 to 99. The Union Legislature has the exclusive power to make laws on subjects enumerated in the Union list. The state list has subjects such as public order, police, prisons, local government, public health and sanitation, agriculture, gas and gas work, trade and commerce within the state, markets and fairs, betting and gambling, election to the state legislature, income, land revenue, total taxes, etc. Items 11, 19, 20, 29 and 36 have been deleted, and this reduces the state list to 61 from 66. The state legislatures have power to make laws over the subjects enumerated in the state list, but the parliament can make laws over these subjects in certain circumstances. The concurrent list has subjects such as criminal law and procedure, marriages and divorces, bankruptcy and insolvency, prevention of cruelty to animals, forests, trade unions, social security, social insurance, weight and measure, price control, electricity, etc. Item 11 capital A, 17 capital A, 17 capital B, 20 capital A and 33 capital A have been added through 42nd Amendment within bracket 1976 bracket close to make it 52 instead of 47. Both the Parliament and the state legislatures have the power to make lead on laws on the subjects enumerated in the concurrent list. In case of inconsistency between the laws made by the Parliament and the state legislature, including laws made on the subjects enumerated in the concurrent list, the union law prevails over the state law, and the state law would be void to be the extent it is repugnant to the union law within bracket Article 254. The residuary powers within bracket following the scheme as in the Canadian Constitution and unlike that in the USA and Australia bracket close have been placed under the jurisdiction of the Parliament, as for example power to levy residuary taxes within bracket Article 248 under the Government of India Act 1935. The residuary powers were placed in the hands of the Governor General. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India, page 19.17. 1. Legislative relations between the centre and the state continued. The Jurisdiction of the laws of the Parliament extends to the whole country, whereas that of the laws of the state legislature extends to their respective states. However, in view of the awkwardness of certain specific scheduled areas, the law of the Parliament may be barred in those areas only by notification of the governors of those states, within bracket see Schedule 5th and 6th, bracket closed. In certain circumstances, the Parliament can make laws on the subjects enumerated in the state list. 1. Under Article 249, when the resolution passed by this Council of States within bracket two-thirds majority of the members present and using, bracket closed, authorizes the Parliament to make a law on a particular case in the national interest, such laws have 1 year validity and cease to operate on the expiry of 6 months after the period for which the resolution was passed. 2. Under Article 250, when the state of emergency is in operation, the Parliament can make laws on the state subjects, which laws become inoperative after 6 months of the expiry of the emergency. 3. Under Article 252, when the legislatures of 2 or more states make a request that the Parliament make laws on certain state subjects within bracket examples, Wildlife within bracket Perfection Act 1972, Water within bracket Prevention and Control of Pollution bracket closed Act 1974, Urban within bracket Sealing and Regulation bracket closed Act 1976, Transplantation of Human Organs Act 1994. 4. Under Article 253, when the implementation of any international treaty, agreement or convention may require so, then the Parliament can legislate on any state subject within bracket example United Nations within bracket Privileges and Immunities bracket closed Act 1947, Geneva Convention Act 1960, Anti-Hijacking Act 1982 and legislation with respect to environment. 5. Under Article 356, when there is precedence rule in any state, the Parliament legislates for the state on state subjects. Besides, the Union Government has a control over states' legislature in numerous ways. A. The Governor can reserve any state bill for the consideration and reconsideration of the President within bracket Articles 200 and 201 bracket closed. B. Bills on certain matters within bracket that is restriction on the freedom of trade and commerce bracket closed can be introduced in the state legislature only after the prior permission of the President. C. The President may direct the states to reserve money bills for his or her consideration during the period of financial emergency within bracket Article 360. 2. Administrative relations between the center and the states. There is a separate administrative jurisdiction of both the union and the states governments that extends to their respective legislative jurisdiction. Yet there are provisions when the union government may have certain control over the states. 1. Under Article 256, the executive power of the state has to be exercised to ensure compliance with the laws made by the Parliament, and the union government is empowered to give necessary direction to the states. 2. Under Article 257, the states are directed not to pursue their executive power in such a way that these go against the union government. Non-compliance of 1 and 2 may lead to the application of Article 365, under which the President may take over the administration of the states. 3. Under Article 258, the President may entrust the states' officials with functions relating to the union government. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 2. Administrative relations between the centre and the states, continued, page 19.18. 4. Under Article 155, the appointment of a state governor is done by the President, and the governor remains in office during the pleasure of the President, notwithstanding the 5-year term. During emergency under Article 356, the governor rules the state as the agent of the President, that is the union government. 5. Under Article 312, the Parliament can create an All India Service within bracket Indian Forest Service in 1966, in addition to IAS and IPS, bracket closed, following the resolution by the Council of States passed by the two-thirds majority of the numbers present and voting. 6. Under Article 315, the Union Public Service Commission (UPSC) may serve the needs of a state on its request. The State Public Service Commission works in the states, though their members are appointed by the governor. They are removed by the president within bracket under Article 317 bracket closed. 7. Under Articles 352, 356 and 360, the legislative, administrative and financial powers of the Union government get increased to the disadvantages to the state. The institution of planning commission and the role of national political parties help the Union government than the states. Article 355 assigns two duties to the Union government. 1. To protect the states from any external attack and internal disturbance, and 2. To see that the government of the state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. Article 262 provides for the adjudicative of any dispute or complaint with respect to the distribution and control of waters of any interstate river and or river valley, for which the provision has to be made by the Parliament. Article 263 says that the President can establish an interstate council to investigate and discuss subjects of common interest between the centre and the states. Within bracket examples, such a council was set up in 1990 bracket closed. The Parliament has established zonal councils to promote interstate cooperation and coordination for 5 zones within bracket northern, central, western, eastern and southern bracket closed. 3. Financial relations between the centre and the states. The Parliament has the power to levy taxes on subjects enumerated in the Union list on items such as 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92A, 92B and 96. The state legislatures have the power to levy taxes on subjects enumerated in the state list on items such as 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63 and 65. Both the Union and the states can levy taxes on subjects 33, 34 and 47 of the concurrent list. The residuary power of taxation within brackets such as gift tax, wealth tax and expenditure tax bracket close is vested in the Parliament. The 88th Amendment Act 2000, also known as within bracket alternative scheme of devolution bracket in inverted comma close, made major changes in the scheme of distribution of tax revenue between the centre and the state. Based on the recommendations of the 10th Finance Commission within bracket, which now deletes Article 272 bracket closed, the amendment provides that the states should receive 29% the total income obtained from certain central taxes and duties. Under the background of it, the Constitution provisions with regard to the distribution of tax revenue between the centre and the state are as under. 1. Taxes levied by the centre but collected and appropriated by the state. The category includes the following taxes. 1. Stamp duties on bill of exchange, checks, promissory notes and others. 2. Excise duties on medicinal and toilet preparations containing alcohol. The proceeds of these duties levied within any state do not form a part of the consolidated fund of India but are appropriated by the state within bracket Article 268. 2. Taxes levied and collected by the state by the centre. I repeat 2. Taxes levied and collected by the centre but assigned to the states. The following taxes fall under this category. 1. Taxes on the sale or purchase of goods in the course of interstate trade or commerce other than newspaper. 2. Taxes on the consignment of goods in the course of interstate trade or commerce. The net proceeds of these taxes are assigned to states in accordance with the principles laid down by the Parliament, Article 269. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 3. Financial relations between the centre and the states continued, page 19.19. 3. Taxes levied and collected by the centre but distributed between the centre and the states. This category includes all taxes and duties referred to in the Union list except the following. 1. Duties and taxes mentioned above in the first and second categories. 2. Surcharges on taxes and duties within bracket mentioned below. 3. Any cess levied for specific purposes. The manner of distribution of the net proceeds of these taxes and duties is prescribed by the President on the recommendation of the Finance Commission within bracket Article 270 bracket closed. 4. Taxes for the purpose of the Centre. The Parliament can at any time levy the surcharges on the duties or taxes mentioned above in the second and third categories. The proceeds of such surcharges go to the Centre exclusively. In other words, the states have no share in these surcharges within bracket Article 271. 5. Grants in aid to the states. Besides sharing of taxes between the Centre and the states, the Constitution provides for grant in aid to the states from the central resources. A. Statutory grants under Article 275 to states on the recommendations of the Finance Commission. B. Discretionary grants to the states in the name of development, usually as proposed by the Planning Commission. C. Grants of export duty like on jute and jute products within bracket Article 273. 2C. Finance Commission. Article 280 provides for a Finance Commission by the President every 5th year with one chairman and 4 other members appointed by the President with qualifications to be determined by the law of the Parliament. The Commission can make recommendations such as 1. Distribution of the net proceeds of taxes to be shared between the Centre and the states, and the allocation between the state and the respective shares of such proceeds. 2. The principles which should govern the grants in aid to the states by the Centre within bracket that is out of the Consolidated Fund of India. 3. The measures needed to augment the Consolidated Fund of a state to supplement the resources of the panchayats and the municipalities in the state on the basis of the recommendations made by the State Finance Commission. 4. Any other matter referred to it by the President in the interest of sound finance. 2D. Centre-State Relations Commission. The Centre-State Relations have been under consideration since 1960s. Both Centre and states have undertaken attempts to address issues relating to their relations. 1. Administrative Reforms Commission within bracket 1966. Its important recommendations were establishment of an interstate council under Article 263 of the Constitution. Next, appointment of person having long experience in public life and administration and non-partisan attitude to governance. Next, delegation of powers to the maximum extent to the states. Next, transferring of more financial resources to the states to reduce their dependency upon the Centre. Next, deployment of central armed forces in the states either on their request or otherwise. No action was taken by the Union government. Chapter 19 Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. 2D Centre-State Relations Commission continued, page 19.20. 2. Raja Manor Committee within bracket 1969. The Tamil Nadu government appointed a committee headed by Dr. P.D. Rajamanar. Its major recommendations, though ignored by the Union government, were 1. An interstate council should be set up immediately. 2. Finance Commission should be made up a permanent body. 3. Planning Commission should be disbanded and its place should be taken by a statutory body. 4. Articles 356, 357 and 365 within bracket dealing with President's rule bracket closed should be totally omitted. 5. The provision that the state ministry holds office during the pleasure of the governor should be omitted. 6. Certain subjects of the union list and the concurrent list should be transferred to the state list. 7. The residuary powers should be allocated to the states. And 8. All India services within bracket IAS, IPS and IFS should be abolished. 3. Anandpur Sahib Resolution within bracket 1973. The Akali Dal's resolution in Punjab demanded that the centre's jurisdiction should be restricted only to defence, foreign affairs, communications and currency, and the entire residuary powers should be vested in the states. It stated that the constitution should be made federal in the real sense and should ensure equal authority and representation to all the states. 4. West Bengal's memorandum within bracket 1977. Its suggestions were: 1. The word within inverted comma union in the constitution should be replaced by the word federal within inverted comma. 2. The jurisdiction of the center should be confined to defense, foreign affairs, currency, communications and economic coordination. 3. All other subjects, including the residuary, should be vested in the states. 4. Articles 356 and 357 President's within bracket President's Rule and 360 Financial Emergency should be repealed. 5. States' consent should be made obligatory for formation of new states or reorganization of existing states. 6. Of the total revenue raised by the centre from all sources, 75% should be allocated to the states. 7. Rajya Sabha should have equal powers with those of the Lok Sabha. And 8. There should be only central and state services, and that all India services should be abolished. Wrong. Repeat. 5. Sarkaria Commission within bracket 1988. The Constitution recommended 247 recommendations. Some of the important recommendations were: 1. A permanent interstate council called the Intergovernment Council should be set up under Article 263. 2. Article 356 within bracket President's Rule bracket closed should be used very sparingly in extreme cases as a last resort when all the available options have failed. 3. The institution of all India services should be further strengthened and some more such services should be created. 4. The residuary powers of taxation should continue to remain with the Parliament, while the other such residual powers should be placed in the concurrent list. 5. When the President withholds his assent to the state bills, the reasons should be communicated to the state government. 6. The National Development Council within bracket NDC should be renamed and reconstituted as the National Economic and Development Council within bracket NEDC bracket closed. 7. The Zonal Council should be constituted afresh and reactivated to promote the spirit of the federalism. 8. The centre should have powers to deploy its armed forces even without the consent of the states. However, it is desirable that the states should be consulted. 9. The centre should consult the states before making a law on a subject of the concurrent list. 10. The procedure of consulting the Chief Minister in the appointment of the state governor should be prescribed in the Constitution itself. 11. Steps should be taken to uniformly implement the three-language formula in its true spirit. At present, a new commission on state-centers relations has been appointed. It is headed by Justice Madan Mohan Punchi. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India, page 19.21, exercises. Exercise number 1. Which of the following features are present in the Indian Constitution? 1. Multiple procedure of amendment. 2. States are empowered to initiate amendments. 3. Certain amendments have to be passed by half of the state legislatures. 4. Joint sittings of Parliament to solve disputes regarding constitutional amendment. Select the correct code. A. 1 and 2, B. 1 and 3, C. 3 and 4, D. 1 and 4. The correct answer is B, that is 1 and 3. 1. Multiple procedures of amendment. 3. Certain amendments have to be passed by half of the state legislatures. Exercise 2. Which of the following statements regarding the residuary powers of the Constitution of India are correct? 1. Residuary powers have been given to the Union Parliament. 2. In the matter of residuary powers, the Constitution of India follows the Constitution of Australia. 3. The final authority to decide whether a particular matter falls under the residuary power or not is Parliament. 4. The Government of India Act 1935 placed residuary powers in the hands of the Governor General. A. 1 and 3, B. 2 and 3, C. 1 and 4, D. 3 and 4. The correct answer is C, that is 1 and 4. Exercise 3. Match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct code. In the horizontal column, list 1 and list 2. Under list 1, taxes. Under list 2, authority, import to appropriate. Under list 1, taxes. In the vertical column, against serial number capital A, sales tax. Capital B, surcharge on income tax. Capital C, income tax other than on agricultural income. Capital D, taxes on railway, fares and freight. Under list 2, under the head list 2, authority empowered to appropriate. Again, in the vertical column, against serial number 1, union exclusively. 2, taxes levied and collected by the union and the states. 3, taxes levied and collected by the union but assigned to the states within which they are leviable. 4, duties levied by the union but collected and appropriated by the states. 5, states exclusively. Code. In the horizontal column, headings are capital A space, capital B space, capital C space, capital D. Under capital A, in the vertical column, against serial number A, 5, B5, C5 and D4. Under capital B, A1, B1, C1, D2. Under capital C, A2, B4, C3 and D1. Under capital D, A4, B2, C2 and D3. The correct answer is A. That is under A, that is sales tax. 5, that is states exclusively. Capital B, surcharge on income tax. 1, that is union exclusively. Capital C, income tax other than on agricultural income. 2, that is taxes levied and collected by the union and the states. Capital D, that is taxes on railway, fares and freight. 4, that is duties levied by the union but collected and appropriated by the states. Page 19.22, Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. Exercises. Exercise number 4. Which of the following amendments provides for 29% of the total proceeds of the union to the states? A. 80th. B. 81st. 3. C. 82nd. 82. D. 83rd. Which of the following amendments provides for 29% of the total proceeds of the union of the state? A. 80th. 5. Given below are two statements. One labeled as assertion A and the other labeled as reason R. Assertion A. There has been a growing demand for review of central-state relationship. Reason R. The states have no adequate resources to take up development projects. In the context of the above two statements, which one of the following is correct? A. Both A and R are individually true and R is the correct expression of A. Both A and R are individually true but R is not the correct expression of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. The correct answer is A. That is, both A and R are individually true and R is the correct expression of A. Exercise 6. Which of the following has not been added to the concurrent list? A. Population control and family planning. B. Protection of wild animal and birds. C. Forests. D. Capitation taxes. The correct answer is D, that is capitation taxes. Exercise 7. Which of the following are the taxes levied by the union but are collected and appropriated by the states? 1. A. Stamp duties. B. Income tax. C. Taxes on railway and freight. D. Excess duties. The correct answer is A, that is stamp duties. Exercise 8. Consider the following statements related to Article 368 of the Constitution. 1. A Constitution Amendment Bill can be passed at a joint session of Parliament in case of deadlock between the two houses. 2. It is obligatory for the President of India to give his assent to a Constitutional Amendment Bill passed under Article 368. 3. to amend 7 schedules of the Constitution, ratification of half of the state legislatures is essential. 4. The proposal to amend the Constitution can only be introduced in the House of the People. Which of these are correct? A. 1 and 2, B. 1 and 3, C. 2 and 3, D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is C. 2 and 3. 2. It is obligatory for the President of India to give his assent to a constitutional amendment bill passed under Article 368. 3. To amend 7th schedule of the Constitution, ratification of half of the state legislatures is essential. Exercise 9. Provisions of the Indian constitutions relating to the formation of new states can be amended by A. 2/3 majority of the members present and voting in each house of the parliament, provided they also constitute majority of the total membership in each house. B. Parliamentary resolution which should be ratified by a majority of state legislatures. C. A simple majority in each house of parliament. D. A 3/4 majority in each house of the parliament. The correct answer is C. A simple majority in each house of the parliament. Exercise 10. Which of the following statements regarding the 74th Amendment to the Constitution of India are correct? 1. It provides for the insertion of a new schedule to the Constitution. 2. It restructures the working of the municipalities. 3. It provides for the reservation of seats for women and scheduled castes in the municipalities. 4. It is applicable only to some specified states. A. 1, 2 and 3, B. 1, 2 and 4, C. 1, 3 and 4, D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is A, that is 1, 2 and 3. 1. It provides for the insertion of a new schedule to the Constitution. 2. It restructures the working of the municipalities. 3. It provides for the reservation of seats for women and scheduled castes in the municipalities. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India, page 19.23, exercises. Exercise number 11. Which of the following pairs are correctly matched? 1. 24th Amendment asserted the right of the Parliament to amend any part of the Constitution including Part 3. 2. 39th Amendment, election of President, Vice President, Prime Minister and Speaker is beyond the purview of the judiciary. 3. 42nd Amendment, political defections made illegal and reservations for SC/ST extended for another 10 years. 4. 7th Amendment, granting of statehood to the Union Territory of Delhi. A. 1 and 4, B. 1 and 2, B. 1 and 2, C. 2 and 3, D. 3 and 4. The correct answer is B, that is 1 and 2. 1. 24th Amendment asserted the right of the Parliament to amend any part of the Constitution including Part 3. 2. 39th Amendment, election of President, Vice President, Prime Minister and Speaker is beyond the purview of the judiciary. Exercise 12. The 73rd Amendment Act emanates from the article A. 38, B. 40, C. 44, D. 52. The correct answer is B, that is 40. Exercise 13. The secession of a state from the Indian Union has been barred by the A. Constitution within bracket 16th Amendment Act 1963, B. Constitution within bracket 22nd Amendment Act 1969, C. Constitution within bracket 29th Amendment Act bracket 29 Amendment Act bracket close Act 1972, D. Constitution within bracket 35th Amendment Act 1974. A. Constitution within bracket 16th Amendment Act 1973 is the correct answer. Exercise 14. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, the headings are list 1 space list 2. Under list 1, constitutional amendment. Under list 2, effects. Under list 1 and constitutional amendments, under the head list 1 constitutional amendments, in the vertical column, again serial number capital A 37th, serial number capital B 49th, serial number capital C 58th and serial number capital D 77th. Under list 2 under the head list 2 effects, with the vertical column against serial number Tripura in the 6th schedule. Serial number 2, legislature to some UTS. Serial number 3, publication of the constitution in Hindi. Serial number 4, national capital status to Delhi. Serial number 5, reservation in promotion to SCs and STs. The code in the headings, in the horizontal column, the headings are capital A, space capital B, space capital C, space capital D. Under capital A as heading, in the vertical column against serial number A2, B3, C2, D3. Under capital B, in the vertical column against serial number A4, B4, C4, D1. Under capital C, in the vertical column against serial number A3, B2, C3, D2. Under capital D, in the vertical column against serial number A5, B1, C1 and D5. The correct answer is A. That is under A, 37th, 2, legislature to some UTS, that is Union Territories. Capital B, that is 49th, 1, that is Tripura in the 6th schedule. Under capital C, under the heading capital C, 58th, 3, that is publication of the constitution in Hindi. Under capital D, head, that is 77th, 5, that is reservation in promotions to SCS and STS. Exercise 15. Which of the following cases prompted the Indian Parliament to enact 24th Constitution Amendment Bill? A. Goloknath case. B. Shankari Prasad case. C. Keshavanando Bharati case. D. Shah Banu case. The correct answer is A, that is Goloknath case. Exercise 16. 86th Amendment to the Constitution of India has A. Made free and compulsory primary education a fundamental right. B. Incorporated provision of right to inheritance in the directive principles of state policy. C. Enhanced the scope of reservation for backward communities in educational institutions. D. Brought minority educational institution under strict control of the central government. A. Correct answer is A, that is made free and compulsory primary education a fundamental right. Exercise 17. Match list 1 within bracket amendments of the constitutions of India bracket closed with list 2 within bracket purpose of the amendment. In the horizontal column the heads are list 1 and list 2. Under the list 1 as head, in the vertical column against serial number capital A 53rd amendment, capital B 61st amendment, capital C 74th amendment, capital D 79th amendment. Under list 2 as head, against serial number 1, extension of reservation for SC and ST and Anglo-Indians in the House of People and in the states assemblies of a period of 10 years. 2. Insertion of new article C171G in the Constitution. 3. Lowering of voting age from 21 to 18. 4. Constitution of 3 types of municipalities. 4. In the horizontal column, the headings are capital A, space capital B, space capital C, space capital D. Under the head capital A, in the against serial number A2, B1, C2, D1. Under capital B as head, against in the vertical column against serial number A4, B3, C3 and D4. Under capital C as head, in the vertical column against serial number A3, B4, C4, D3. Under capital D as vertical column, in the as capital D as head, in the vertical column against serial number A1, B2, C1 and D2. The correct answer is C, that is under A. A means 53rd amendment, that is 2, that is insertion of new article 371G in the Constitution. Sorry. The correct answer is C. The correct answer is C. That is under capital A, that is 53rd amendment. 2, that is insertion of new article 371G in the Constitution. Under capital B, that is 61st Amendment. 3, that is lowering of voting age from 21 to 18. Under capital C, 4, that is constitution of three types under capital C, that is 74th Amendment. 4 under capital C, that is 74th Amendment. 4, wrong, I repeat, under capital C, that is 74th Amendment. 4, that is constitution of three types of municipalities. Under capital D, 79th Amendment. 1, that is extension of reservation for SC and ST and Anglo-Indians in the House of People and in the state assemblies for a period of 10 years. Page 19.24. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. Exercise 18. The 92nd Amendment adds which of the following in the 8th schedule? A. Bodo and Dogri. B. Maithili and Santali. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The answer is C, that is both A and B. That is A. Bodo and Dogri and B. Maithili and Santali. 18. Bodo, Dogri, Maithili, Santali were included in 8th schedule. Exercise 19. Which of the following amendments restricts the number of the minister to 15% of the total membership of the House of the People? A. 80th, B. 98th, C. 91st and D. 92nd. The correct answer is C, that is 91st. 20. Right to education is given through which of the following amendment? A. 86th, B. 87th, C. 88th and D. 89th. The correct answer is A, that is 86th. Exercise 21. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column under the heads are list 1 space list 2. Under the head list 1 in the vertical column against serial number capital A 86th Amendment, capital B 88th Amendment, capital C a 74th Amendment, capital D a 92nd Amendment. Under list 2 as head in the vertical column 1 against serial number 1, inclusion of 4 languages in 8th schedule. In serial number 2, right to education. Serial number 3, tax on services. Serial number 4, types of municipalities. Quote, in the horizontal columns, the heads are capital A, space capital B, space capital C, space capital D. Under the head capital A, in the vertical column against A2, B2, C3, D4. Under capital B in the vertical column against serial number A3, B3, C2, D1. Under capital C in the vertical column against serial number A4, B1, C1 and D2. Under capital D in the vertical column against serial number A1, B4, C4 and D4. The correct answer is A. That is under serial number A, that is 86th Amendment. 2. Right to education. Capital B, 88th Amendment. 3. That is tax on services. Capital C, 74th Amendment. 4. Types of municipalities. Capital D, 92nd Amendment. 1. Inclusion of 4 languages in 8th schedule. Exercise 22. Which of the following is not included in the languages as stated in 92nd Amendment? A. Bodo, Budo, B. Urdu, C. Dogri and D. Santali. The correct answer is B, that is Urdu. Exercise 23. Which of the following amendments extended the state emergency to 3 years and 6 months in Punjab? A. 64th, B. 65th, 65th, and C. 66th, D. 67th. The correct answer is A, that is 64th. Exercise 24. Which of the following amendments took away right to property from the list of the fundamental rights? A. 42nd, B. 43rd, C. 44th and D. 45th. The correct answer is 44th. Exercise 25. The Goraknath case facilitated which of the following amendments? A. 24th Amendment, B. 25th Amendment, C. 26th Amendment, D. 27th Amendment. The correct answer is A, that is 24th Amendment. Exercise 26. What is the correct sequence of the following? 1. Scheduled Castes Order. 2. Untouchability Offences Act. 3. Protection of Civil Rights Act. 4. Communal Order of the Government of Madras. A. 3412, B. 4123, C. 1234 and D. 2341. The correct answer is C, that is 1234. 1 means Scheduled Castes Order, 2. Untouchability Offences Act, 3. Protection of Civil Rights Act, and 4. Communal Order of the Government of Madras. Exercise 27. Which of the following is not included in the state list in the Constitution of India? A. Police, B. Law and Order, C. Prisons, and D. Criminal Procedure Code. The correct answer is D, that is Criminal Procedure Code. Criminal Procedure Code is item number 2 on the concurrent list. Exercise 28. Which of the following subject is included in the concurrent list of the Constitution of India? A. Citizenship, B. Interstate rivers, C. Trade unions, and D. All India services. The correct answer is C, that is trade unions. Trade union is item number 22 of the concurrent list. Exercise 29. Which of the following items comes under the concurrent list of the Indian Constitution? A. Interstate rivers, B. Forests, C. Citizenship, and D. Local government. The correct answer is B, that is forests. Forests is item number 17A in the concurrent list. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India, exercises, page 19.25, exercises. Exercise number 30. An interstate council may be established by A. the Parliament, B. the President, C. the National Development, D. the Zonal Council. The correct answer is B, the President. The President has the power to establish interstate councils under Article 263. Exercise 31. Which article of the Constitution empowers the Parliament to legislature on any matter of the state list? A. Article 115, B. Article 183, C. Article 221, D. Article 249. The correct answer is D, that is Article 249. Exercise 32. On the subject of income tax. A. The union government has more powers than state governments. B. The state government has more powers than the union government. C. Both union and state governments have equal powers, but union shall prevail in case of conflict. D. Only the union government has power. D. Only the union government has power. Exercise 33. Sixth schedule to the Constitution of India makes special administrative provisions in regard to the tribal areas in A. Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram, B. Meghalaya, Assam, Nagaland and Manipur, C. Tripura, Manipur, Mizoram and Meghalaya, D. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Assam and Tripura. The correct answer is A, that is Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Exercise 34. Assertion A. Professor K.C. Ware calls Indian Constitution a quasi-federal constitution. Reason R. There are 3 lists, union, state and concurrent, in the 7th schedule of the Constitution of India, dividing powers between the centre and the states and giving residuary powers to the central government. A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is B. That is, both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Exercise 35. The decisions of the Central Administration Tribunals can be challenged in the Supreme Court of India under the article A. 323A, B. 329, C. 243C and D. 343. The correct answer is A, that is 323A. Exercise 36. Consider the following statements regarding the constitutional provisions relating to trade, commerce and intercourse in India. 1. Parliament may by law impose restrictions on the freedom of trade, commerce or intercourse between one state and another in the public interest. 2. Bills imposing restrictions on the freedom of trade, commerce or intercourse within the state cannot be moved in the state legislature without the sanction of the central government. 3. Parliament may enact any law giving or authorizing any discrimination to deal with a situation arising from the scarcity of goods in any part of Indian territory. 4. Trade and commerce within the state is a subject in the concurrent list. Which of these is/are correct? A. 1, 2, 3 and 4, B. 3 and 4, C. 1 and 3, D. 2 and 3. The correct answer is C, that is 1 and 3. 1. Parliament may by law impose restrictions on the freedom of trade, commerce or intercourse between the one state and the another in the public interest. 3. Parliament may enact any law giving or authorizing any discrimination to deal with a situation arising from the scarcity of goods in any part of Indian territory. Exercise 37, assertion A. Sarkaria Commission recommended that consultation between the centre and chief ministers on important appointments be certainly made. Reason R. This could be achieved through amending Article 165 of the Indian Constitutions. Both A and R are individually true, and R is the correct expression of A. B. Both A and R are individually true, but R is not the correct expression of A. C. A is true, but R is false. And D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is C, that is A is true, but R is false. Page 19.26, Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India, exercises, exercise number 38. Which of the following is not suggested by the Sarkaria Commission on the selection of governor? A. That a politician from the ruling party at the centre is not appointed. B. That a detached figure of not too intimately connected with the local politics of the state is not appointed. C. That considering consultation with the chief minister regarding appointment of a governor be mandatory. D. That governor remains a mere figure head and should not function as an agent or representative of the centre. The correct answer is B. That a detached figure not too intimately connected with the local politics of the state is not appointed. Exercise 39. In India, public order is included in the constitution as an item in A. Union list, B. State list, C. Concurrent list, and D. Both union and state list. The correct answer is B, that is state list. Public orders in item number 1 on the state list. Exercise 40. The ideas of the union giving directions to the states was adopted by the makers of the Indian Constitution from A. The Government of India Act 1935, B. the US Constitution, C. the Soviet Constitution, and D. the Australian Constitution. The correct answer is A. the Government of India Act 1935. Exercise 41. What is the implication of the Union Government giving within inverted commas special status to state? A. Subsequently large percentage of the central assistance will be grants in aid. B. Current account budgetary deficit will be bridged by the Union Government. C. The extent of loan as a percentage of total assistance will be high. D. The Union Government meets entire expenditure of the state during the period of special status. The correct answer is A, that is subsequently large percentage of the central assistance will be grants in aid. Exercise 42. Consider the following statements of zonal councils in India. 1. General councils were set up under the provisions of the State Reorganization Act. 2. General councils discuss various issues of common interest in the field of planning, river waters, interstate transport. 3. They enable the centre and states to cooperate in evolving uniform policies in social and economic matters. 4. Their decisions are binding on centre as well as on state governments. Which of these statements are correct? A. 1, 2 and 3, B. 1, 3 and 4, C. 2, 3 and 4, D. 1, 2 and 4. The correct answer is A, that is 1, 2 and 3. Zonal councils were set up under the provisions of the State Reorganization Act. 2. Zonal councils discuss various issues of common interest in the field of planning, river waters, interstate transport. 3. They enable the centre and states to cooperate in evolving union policies in social and economic matters. Exercise 43. Which of the following statements correctly describes the 7th schedule of the Constitution of India? A. It contains the languages recognized in the Constitution. B. It contains the provisions regarding the administration of tribal areas. C. It lists distribution of powers between the Union and the states. D. It deals with the salaries and emoluments of the Constitution functionaries. The correct answer is C, that it lists distribution of powers between the Union and the state. Exercise 44. Consider the following statements about Union-state relations in India. 1. In case of overlapping of a matter between the 3 kinds of subjects of legislation, predominance has been given to the Union legislature. 2. In the concurrent sphere, in the case of repugnancy between a Union and a state, law relating to the same subject, the former prevails, even if the state law was reserved for the assent of the President and has received such assent. 3. The vesting of residual power under the Indian Constitution follows the precedent of Canada and not that of the Government of India Act 1935. Which of the 4 statements given above are correct? A. 1 and 2, B. 1 and 3, C. 2 and 3, and D. 1, 2 and 3. 1. In case of overlapping of a matter between the 3 kinds of subjects of legislation, predominance has been given to the Union legislature. 2. In the concurrent sphere, in the case of repugnancy between a Union and state law relating to the same subject, the former prevails, even if the state law was reserved for the assent of the President and was received such assent. 3. The vesting of residual powers under the Indian Constitution follows the precedent of Canada and not that of the Government of India Act 1935. Chapter 19, Amendment, Procedure and Federalism in India, exercises, page 19.27, exercise 45. Which one of the following amendments to the Constitution of India sought to curb the political defection? A. 42nd, B. 52nd, C. 62nd, and 62nd, and 78th. The correct answer is 52nd. Directions. The following are assertions A and reason R. Questions. Select the correct quote. 46. Exercise 46. Assertion A. A flexible constitution can be changed easily. Reason R. It keeps pace with the changing times. A and R are true. R is the correct explanation of A. B, A and R and true. R is not the correct explanation of A. C, A is true but R is false. And D, A is false but R is true. The correct answer is 46A. That is, A and R are true. R is the correct explanation of A. 47. Assertion A. Indian Constitution is partly flexible and partly rigid. Reason R. The states ratify amendment proposals with simple majority. A and R are true. R is the correct explanation of A. B, A and R are true. R is not the correct expression of A. C, A is true but R is false. D, A is false but R is true. The correct answer is 47C. That is, A is true but R is false. A. Indian Constitution is partly flexible and partly rigid. Exercise 48. Assertion A. The amendment procedure in India has been provided in Article 368 of the Constitution. Reason R. There are multiple methods of amendment procedures in India. A and R are true. R is the correct explanation of A. B, A and R are true. R is not the correct explanation of A. C, A is true but R is false. And D, A is false but R is true. The correct answer is 48B. That is, A and R are true. R is not the correct explanation of A. Exercise 49, assertion A. India is described by the Constitution itself as a union of the states. Reason R. It is result of states agreeing to form the union. A and R are true. R is the correct expression of A. B. A and R are true. R is not the correct expression of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. The correct answer is 49 C. That is A is true but R is false. Exercise 50. Assertion A. The President is empowered to send back the amending proposal after being passed by the Parliament to the originating House. Reason R. The President is the executive chief in whom are vested the executive powers of the Union government. The correct answer is 50D. That is I should read A and R are true. R is the correct expression of A. B. A and R are true. R is not the correct expression of A. C. A is true. R is false. D. A is false but R is true. The correct answer is 50D. That is A is false but R is true. Exercise 51. Consider the following statements. India is a union of states. 2. In India, the states have the power to secede from the union. A. Only 1 is correct. B. Only 2 is correct. C. 1, 2 both are correct. D. 1, 2 both are false. The correct answer is A. That is only 1 is correct. Exercise 52. Consider the following statements. 1. The names of the states can be changed by simple majority of the Parliament. 2. Amending procedure contained in Article 368 is fairly flexible. A. Only 1 is correct. Only 2 is correct. B. Only 2 is correct. C. 1 and 2 both are correct. D. 1, 2 both are false. The correct answer is A. That is only 1 is correct. 1 means the names of the states can be changed by simple majority of the Parliament. Exercise 53. Consider the following statements. 1. An amending bill first has to originate in the lower house of the Parliament. 2. Prior permission of the President is necessary for introducing the amending proposal in any house of the Parliament. A. Only 1 is correct. B. Only 2 is correct. C. 1, 2 both are correct. And D. 1, 2 both are false. The correct answer is 1, 2, D. That is correct answer is 1, 2 both are false. 1. An amending bill first has to originate in lower house of the Parliament. 2. Prior permission of the President is necessary for introducing the amending proposal in any house of the Parliament. The correct answer is D. That is 1 and 2 both are false. Exercise 54. Which of the following does not match? A. 7th Amendment states reorganized. B. 21st Amendment Sindhi added to 8th schedule. C. 24th Amendment responded to the Keshavananda Bharati case. D. 35th Amendment Sikkim and associated state. The correct answer is C. That is 24th Amendment responded in the Keshavananda Bharati case. Page 19.28, Chapter 19, Exercises. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India. Exercises. Exercise number 55. Which of the following matches? A. 31st Amendment, defection declared void. B. 42nd Amendment, property right deleted. C. 54th Amendment, voting age reduced to 18. D. 88th Amendment, alternative scheme of dissolution. The correct answer is D. That is 88th Amendment, alternative scheme of dissolution. Exercise 56. Which of the following declares India to be a federal state? A. Goloknath case. B. Bombay case. C. Shankari Prasad case. D. Minerva Mills case. The correct answer is B. That is Bombay case. In Bombay case, the Supreme Court had said that India is a federal state. Exercise 57. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, the heads are list 1 and list 2. Under the head list 1 in the vertical column against serial number A, 89th Amendment, against serial number B, 92nd Amendment, against serial number C, 94th Amendment, against serial number D, 86th Amendment. Under the head list 2 in the vertical column against serial number 1, Jharkhand, a new state. Serial number 2, right to education. Serial number 3, separate commission for SC and ST. Serial number 4, Bodo, Dogri, Santali as recognized languages. Code in the horizontal column, the heads are capital A, B space, capital B space, capital C space, capital D. Under the head A, in the vertical column again serial number A3, B3, C3, D3. Under the head B, capital B, serial number in the vertical column, serial number A4, B4, C1 and D2. Under the head capital C, again serial number A1, B2, C2 and D1. Under the head capital D, again serial number A2, B1, C4 and D4. The correct answer is A. That is under capital A, 89th Amendment 3, that is separate commission for SC and ST. Capital B, that is head capital B, 92nd Amendment 4, that is Bodo, Dogri, Santali as recognized languages. Capital C, under the head capital C, 94th Amendment 1, Jharkhand a new state. Under capital D, 86th Amendment 2, that is right to education. Exercise 58, match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, the heads are list 1 space list 2. Under the head list 1 in the vertical column against serial number A, 52nd Amendment, serial number B, 54th Amendment, serial number C, 61st Amendment, serial number D, 66th Amendment. Under the head list 2 in the vertical column against serial number 1, prohibition of defection. Serial number 2, reforms acts included in 9th schedule. Serial number 3, salaries of the judges raised. Serial number 4, reduction of voting age to 18. Code in the horizontal column, the heads are capital A, capital B, capital C and capital D. Under the head capital A in the vertical column against serial number A1, B1, C1, D1. Under the head capital B against serial number A3, B3, C2 and D2. Under the head capital C against serial number A2, B4, C3 and D4. Under the head capital D against serial number A4, B2, C24 and C3. The correct answer is B. That is under serial number capital A, that is 52nd Amendment 1, that is prohibition of defection. Under capital B, that is 54th Amendment 3, that is salaries of the judges. Under capital C, that is 61st Amendment 4, that is reduction of voting age to 18. Under capital D, that is 66th Amendment 2, that is reforms acts included in 9th schedule. Exercise 59. Which of the following statements are correct? 1. Article 368 provides for the amendment procedure. 2. Articles 54 and 55 relate to the electoral process of the Parliament. 3. Fourth schedule provides for the division of the powers between central and states. 4. The President is bound to sign the amending bills once passed. A. 1 and 2, B. 1 and 4, C. 2 and 3, and D. 3 and 4. The correct answer is B, that is 1 and 4. 1. Article 368 provides for the amendment procedure. 4. The President is bound to sign the amending bills once passed. Exercise 60. The basic structure includes which of the following provisions? 1. Rule of law. 2. Federal polity. And 3. Parliamentary democracy. 4. Citizenship provisions. A. 1, 2, 3. B. 1, 2, 4. C. 1, 3, 4. And D. 2, 3, 4. The correct answer is A. 1, 2, 3. 1 means rule of law. 2 means federal polity. And 3. Parliamentary democracy. Exercise 61. Consider the following statements with regard to the amendment procedure. 1. Referendum is optional and not obligatory. 2. Referendum is obligatory. 3. Referendum is neither optional nor obligatory. A. Only 1 is correct. B. Only 2 is correct. C. Only 3 is correct. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. That is only 3 is correct. Referendum is neither optional nor obligatory. Exercise 62. Which of the following with respect to the amendment procedure are correct? 1. Parliament participates in the amendment procedure. 2. President can withhold his/her assent on the amendment bill. 3. Amendment bills can be initiated in any of the House of Parliament. 4. States' participation in the amendment procedure is limited. A. 123, B. 124, 3. 134 and D. 234. The correct answer is C. There is 1, 3 and 4. 1. Parliament participates in the amendment procedure. 3. That is, amendment bill can be initiated in any House of the Parliament. 4. States' participation in the amendment procedure is limited. Chapter 19, Amendment Procedure and Federalism in India, exercises, page 19.29, exercise number 63. Who describes the Indian Federation as a cooperative federation? A. Granville Austin, B. Sir Ivor Jennings, C. K.C. Ware and D. Alexander Richet. The correct answer is A, that is Granville Austin. Exercise 64. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, the heads are list 1, states place list 2. Under the head list 1 in the vertical column against serial number A, Ware, serial number B, Appleby, serial number C, Jennings, serial number D, Austin. Under the head list 2 in the vertical column against serial number 1, the Indian Constitution, 2, modern constitutions, 3, public administration, and 4, some characteristics of the Indian constitutions. Code. In the horizontal column, the heads are A, capital A space capital B space capital C space capital T. Under the head capital A, in the vertical column against serial number A2, B2, C2, D2. Under capital B in the vertical column against serial number A3, B3, D, C4 and D4. Under the head capital C in the vertical column against serial number A4, B1, C1 and D3. Under the head capital D in the vertical column against serial number A1, B4, C3 and D1. The correct answer is A. That is under capital A, where 2, that is modern constitutions. Under capital B, Appleby, the 3, that is public administration. Under capital C, Jennings, 4, that is some characteristics of the Indian constitutions. Under capital D, Austin, 1, the Indian constitution. Exercise 65. Which of the following does not match? A. Alexandrovich, Constitutional History of India. B. Austin, the Indian Constitution. C. Appleby, Public Administration. And D. Ware, Modern Constitutions. The correct answer is Alexandrovich. And Alexandrovich, Constitutional Theory of India. Exercise 66. Which of the following is not true with regard to the Indian federal system? A. 7th schedule provides distribution of powers between the center and the states. B. 4th schedule provides for the authentication of seats. Fourth schedule provides for the allocation of seats of the states in the Council of States. And C. India is a federation of states. And D. The original constitution within bracket 1950 had 8 schedules. The correct answer is C, that is India is a federation of states. Exercise 67. Which of the following states has a separate constitution of its own? A. Andhra Pradesh, B. Karnataka, C. Tamil Nadu and D. Jammu and Kashmir. The correct answer is D, that is Jammu and Kashmir. Exercise 68. The members of the Finance Commission are appointed by the President and their qualifications are determined by A. President, B. Parliament, C. Prime Minister and D. Speaker of the Lok Sabha. The correct answer is B, that is Parliament. Exercise 69. Under which article of the Constitution the Governor can reserve the bill for the consideration of the President? A. 199, B. 200, C. 201, D. 202. The correct answer is C, that is 201. Exercise 70. Which of the items has been added in the Union list? A. Deployment of armed forces of the Union in any state. B. Fisheries. C. Gas and gas works. And D. Taxes on lands and buildings. The correct answer is A. That is deployment of armed forces of the Union in states. Armed forces of the Union in any state. Exercise 71. Which of the following has been added to the concurrent list? A. Social planning. B. Protection of wild animals and birds. C. Social security. And D. Electricity. The correct answer is B, that is protection of wild animals and birds. Exercise 72. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, again, the heads are list 1 and list 2. Under the head list 1, in the vertical column, again, serial number A, union list, serial number B, state list, serial number C, concurrent list. Under the head list 2, against in the vertical column, again, serial number 1, forest, 2, police, 3, banking. The code in the horizontal column, the heads are capital A, capital B, capital C. Under the head, capital A, in the vertical column, again, serial number A1, B3, C1 and D2. Under the head, capital B, in the vertical column, again, serial number A2, B2, C3 and D3. Under the head, capital D, under the head, capital C, in the vertical column, again, serial number A3, B1, C2 and D1. The correct answer is B, that is under the head, capital A, that is union list, 3, that is banking. Under the head, capital B, state list, 2, that is police. Under the head, capital C, that is concurrent, 1, that is forest. Exercise 73. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, the heads are list 1 and list 2. Under the head, list 1 in the vertical column, again, serial number A, state list, B, union list, C, concurrent. Under the list 2, again, in the vertical column, again, serial number 1, markets and fairs, 2, forests, 3, stock exchange. Code in the horizontal column, the heads are A, B and C. Under the head A, in the vertical column, again, serial number A2, A1, B2, C1 and D3. I repeat again under the capital head, under the head, capital A, again in the vertical column, again, serial number A1, B2, C1 and D3. Under the head, capital B, against in the vertical column, again, serial number A3, B3, C2 and D2. Under the head, capital C, again in the vertical column, again, serial number A2, B1, C3 and D1. The correct answer is A, that is under the head, capital A, state list, 1, that is markets and fairs. Under the capital B, under the head, capital B, union list, 3, that is stock exchange. Under the head, capital C, that is concurrent, 2, that is forests. Exercise 74. A resolution of the Council of States Authorities authorizes the Parliament to create a new All India service has to be passed by what majority in the Council of States? A. 2/3 majority of members present in the Council of States. B. 2/3 majority of the members voting in the Council of States. C. 2/3 majority of the total strength of the Council of States. And D. 2/3 majority of the members present and voting in the Council of States. The correct answer is D, that is 2/3 majority of the members present and voting in the Council of State. Exercise 75. Sarkaria Commission report was officially received by the government in A. 1969, B. 1973, C. 1977 and D. 1988. The correct answer is D, that is 1988.